Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a flight attendant for a major US airline, and today we are going on a 3-day trip. So I apologize for not posting in a while. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you already know this, but about a month ago, my grandmother passed away. This was the grandmother that I lived with when I got furloughed from work. So obviously I just wasn't in the mood to be editing and vlogging while I was still kind of dealing with that. So thank you to everyone who reached out to me on Instagram and sent kind words and your condolences. I really appreciate that. But yeah, so I just haven't really been in that mood to vlog, but I have a good trip coming up today, so I figured why not start back with a good one. But I am pushing it time-wise. I left my house on time, and then when I was a few minutes down the road, I realized I left my work jacket in my kitchen. So I had to turn around and go get that and then restart my route to the airport. So it pushed me back a little bit time-wise. I have 10 minutes till sign in, so hopefully a shuttle comes here shortly and I can get to the airport and sign in on time. Not trying to start this trip off with a late sign-in, but let me get my stuff together. Let's go get this 3-day started. Day one was a 3-leg day. We were on the 737 all day, and actually for the entire trip. I was position 2, so this was the galley that I had to work with. Our first leg was to Newark, and there was a lot of weather, so it was bumpy literally the entire flight. The captain called us and told us to remain seated, and so we weren't able to bring out that beverage cart that I had set up on the ground. I do my ice drawer, and then I do cookies, pretzels, and have liquor behind those. I do my soda drawer, have extra juice and waters on the little tray, then have the mixer drawer, and then do all the beer and wine on the bottom. And then on the other side is exactly the same, except for I have extra sodas instead of beer and wine. We made our way back to Charlotte, and it was the same thing. It was bumpy, but we did have about 25 minutes of smooth air. So since the cart was set up, we attempted to do the service, but we weren't able to finish. At least we tried, though. Had some dinner in between the flights, and this is where it gets interesting. Our flight deck crew got pulled because a different flight deck crew was going to go illegal, so they had to switch onto our flight because it was a little bit shorter. But then when we got on the plane, there was a bird strike, so we had to find another plane. We ended up leaving about an hour late, and it was sad because our flight deck crew was originally supposed to be on the whole trip with us. But anyways, once we get to the hotel, I put all my food in the fridge, I make sure my tablet is charged so I won't get in trouble, and then change the temperature in the room. Our longest scheduled due day is done with for this trip. Knock on wood that remains true for the next 2 days, because my last trip was crazy, or it ended crazy. So I just need a good smooth trip, because that was bizarre. Like, today went smooth compared to the other day. The other day I was doing another 3-day, and it was our last leg of the trip. It was supposed to be the easiest day of the whole trip, and we had to divert going into Charlotte because of weather. So we land in Columbia, South Carolina. Well, Columbia, South Carolina, the airport did not have a gate for us to go to, so we're sitting out in like a holding area, because originally the plan was we're just gonna refuel and then take back off. So we're sitting over in this area to just get refueled, where they put planes that divert. And well, we sit there forever to get fuel. By the time we get fuel, the Charlotte airport has shut back down because of more weather. So we sat there for 4 hours with a full plane full of people, and we just weren't getting really any updates. So people were getting frustrated because we couldn't tell them anything new because we didn't have anything new. Well, as time went on, more and more people wanted to get off the plane, and we wanted that as well, because they don't give us food on the plane. It wasn't a long enough flight for us to have any food, and even the long flights that we have now, the only food for sale we have at the moment are fruit cheese trays, which is not even like real food. And we've been putting in requests for like over the past year, probably like bring back sandwiches, bring back salads to have on board. Like people want to buy that, they want to eat that, they don't want to eat just fruit and cheese, you know, whatever, but they don't listen to us. Anyways, so, you know, people are coming back like, we want to buy food, and we're like, we don't have food for you. We gave out like all of our cookies and pretzels. We were running out of food. We were running out of water, because anytime we have a significant delay, we have to go through and do a cookie and water service. So we had already done 2 of those. So it was just a mess. Well, since we weren't parked at a gate, people couldn't just get off the plane. So we had to get a shuttle to come pick people up and then drive them back to the airport. Well, supposedly they have a large bus that would normally do this, but the manager that had the keys for the bus was out of the country and could not give them the keys to the bus. They accidentally took them on their vacation. So we were having to take an 11-person shuttle back and forth to the airport. Well, eventually we timed out as a crew, so we had to stay in Columbia, South Carolina, which normally I would be thrilled about because I love Columbia, South Carolina. That's like my home away from home. I went to college there. I lived there for a couple extra years afterwards, and I have a lot of friends there, and I go to football games there still. Like, I love Columbia, South Carolina, but I was tired and I was ready to get home. I had plans in Greenville that night, so I was bummed that we had to go into an extra day, and then I was just exhausted. So I'm like, I need this trip to not be like that. So hopefully today is the worst that we experience with that, but it is summer and weather is always an issue in the summer, so we'll see how the rest of this 3-day trip goes. But I'm gonna wash my face, and I'm almost finished with my book, so I'm gonna try to finish that tonight. Hopefully get some good sleep so that I can get up at a decent time tomorrow and get some stuff done before we sign in for day 2. It is 9:30. I probably could have stayed in the bed a little bit longer, but if I did that, I wouldn't have gotten up until it was time to start getting ready for work. And I wanted to try to go to the gym this morning. We'll see if that happens. I'm gonna do my devotions first, and then if I have time to get a quick workout in, then I'll go do that. But first I need some coffee, so I'm gonna go get some ice because I finally brought my cold brew back, which is amazing. So I'm gonna go get some ice for that, drink my coffee, start doing my devotions, and then we'll see if we can make it to the gym before it's time to start getting ready for work. For breakfast, I just had my coffee and some string cheese, had some strawberries and some oat protein cereal. I am currently doing like 4 different devotions, so it took me a little bit longer to get through than I was anticipating, so didn't get to go to the gym, but I had some modules I needed to do, so got one of those done while I did my makeup, and then had some lunch before it was time to get ready. Time to catch the van! Day 2 was a 2-leg day. We started Nashville to Dallas, which we got a whole new set of pilots for our day 2 flying. I don't know what happened with the ones that took us into Nashville. I guess they had something else going on, but I do enjoy being position 2. I like setting up the cart. It's an easy way to keep me busy. I like doing things that just keep me busy, even if it's like not anything important. But position 1 is still my favorite on the narrow body because I can do a lot of different things to kill time. Position 2, you know, you set up the cart and then that's pretty much it. But from Dallas, we went to Cancun, which you guys already know I was super stoked about because I love the beach. So I was super excited when this trip was awarded to me on my line. It just took so long for us to get to the hotel. So since our pilots got removed yesterday and we got new ones today to bring us here, their layover is a little bit different than ours because they're not taking us to Philadelphia in the morning, or in the afternoon. They are just deadheading back to Dallas because they were a Dallas crew. So they had them at a different hotel than us, but it was in a different direction than the hotel that ours was in, and we only had one van driver, so the van driver had to take the pilots first, which the pilots tried to change and get their hotel to ours, but since their layover was so much shorter than ours, the company wouldn't let them do that. So, you know, the pilot was trying really hard because he was like, it would just make things a lot easier. They also had 2 rooms here already for the pilots that were supposed to be on our crew, or like supposed to be here with us. They had rooms for them already. They were like waiting for them to get here, so it would have made sense to just keep them here. but they were worried about rest stuff with the pilots, which is why they would have been able to have enough rest here, but they just didn't want to do that, I guess. So we had to take them first and then come to our hotel, which is having a party right now. Do you guys hear that music? It looks like they're doing like some kind of lip sync show outside by the pool. I'll show you guys in just a minute, but I'm about to change clothes because the crew is gonna meet and go get some dinner really quick on the strip before we call it a night, and one of our pilots is actually gonna meet us out there. So that was a whole other reason. He was like, hopefully I can just stay with y'all and then just walk over with y'all instead of having to Uber over there. But yeah, anyways, let's get changed because it is so humid here. My uniform is like sticking to me. I'm gonna put on some cooler clothes and then I'll show you guys the fun that is happening outside of my room right now. So yeah, there was a lip sync battle or like show going on, and they had a whole setup. There was the stage, lights, and then you could kind of see the beach, even though it was a little bit too dark for all that. We went to go get some food at Mextreme, which their thing is if you order drinks, they'll stack them up on top of their head, which we had ordered 5, and the guy said he could do 5, but we were watching him over at the bar, and he was like kind of freaking himself out when he put the 4th one on there. So we were like, we can do 4, that's fine. But they were having such a good time. But then we were like, well, where is our 5th drink? And then all of a sudden we see this guy like running around with a drink on his head, and he was dancing. They were like so fun. This place is not a chill place. Like, they were all trying to have a party. They were trying to get everybody like into everything they were doing. It was so much fun. But we ordered some guacamole, of course, and then got some tacos. We ordered another round of margaritas, and then the restaurant was closing, but we weren't quite ready to go back to the hotel yet, but we were also done drinking, so we just went and sat in a bar and ordered waters, and then everybody was trying to do the whole water bottle flip thing. It was hilarious. It is day 3, and look at this view that I get to wake up to this morning. Cannot wait to get on the beach, but first I'm gonna go grab some breakfast. I have a line on my face from sleeping so hard last night. I'm gonna go get some breakfast and then go pick a spot and just relax on the beach for a couple hours before we have to get ready for our last day of flying. The hotel they put us in is an all-inclusive, but not for us. So did have to pay for breakfast, which was kind of sad. But then went and just enjoyed the beach for the rest of my morning. You guys, it was a beautiful day. I loved every minute of it. This layover was not long enough. I wanted more beach time, but it is go home day, so that makes it a little bit easier to leave. It is van time, so let's go catch the van and get these last 2 legs over with. Our inbound was a little bit late getting to Cancun, so we had a little bit of time to kill, so I ordered a burrito bowl. It's super expensive, but it's really tasty. I love that kind of food. We had food for sale on our flight to Philly. That's the only flight this trip that we had food for sale. We have the fruit and cheese Cool Ranch Doritos, which they just changed from the Pringles, and then almonds. And the only change I make to the cart is instead of putting 2 waters and 1 of each juice, I just put 1 juice, 1 water. And the food for sale, we were reunited with our pilots on this leg that got taken from us day 1, so it was good to see them again, but sad that they weren't able to be on the beach with us that morning. Got some crab fries when we got to the Philly airport. I used to eat those all the time when I was based there on standby, so love those things. But we had such a light flight going home. It was amazing. So we got in 30 minutes early, but I didn't even get to take advantage of it because I got pulled for a random drug test. And this may be TMI, but I don't pee a lot throughout the day, and I'd gone to the bathroom right before we took off to come to Charlotte, so I was like, great. I was trying to like chug water, and luckily I was able to produce like the like literally the amount of pee that he needed me to put in the cup, because there was like nothing left in my system. So thank goodness, because otherwise it would have taken even longer than it did. It took about 30 minutes. So all that time they made up in the air, I had to waste peeing in a cup. But we do get paid a little bit extra when we get picked for one of those. But I was like, it's so late, I just want to go home. But it is what it is. But that was a good little welcome back to the channel trip after I haven't posted in a long time. I had a great crew and we had a really good time. I am burnt like everywhere. Like as the day went on, my skin has just gotten like more and more red. So that's cool. I didn't put sunscreen on today because the last time we went to Cancun, I put on my sunscreen and I was out there for a couple hours and hardly got any sun. So I was like, I'm only gonna be out there for an hour, it's fine. And I am roasted, so we love that. But I am off for 9 days. This weekend is Memorial Weekend, so I'm going to be going to the beach with my parents and maybe my brother will be there, I don't know. And then some of the days I'm over there, I'll probably drive to Charleston to hang out with a friend for the weekend and then drive back to Myrtle Beach where my parents are going to be and spend the rest of the time with them because I think we're going to be there for like 5-6 days. So yeah, that'll be fun. But as always, any questions, comments, whatever, put them in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.